Excessive love leads to attachment, and excessive hatred leads to destruction. Increase your remembrance of Allah, for it is a remedy. Do not overly fixate on human relationships, as it is a disease. Attain knowledge, and to acquire it, learn to be calm and patient. No feeling of guilt can change the past, and no worry can alter the future. Women are not garments to be worn and discarded at will. They are honorable and have their rights. There are 3 stages of knowledge. If someone enters the first stage, they will become arrogant. In the second stage, they will become humble. In the third stage, they will feel that they are nothing. I fear the day when unbelievers take pride in their falsehoods, while believers are ashamed of their faith. Examine yourselves before you are examined. Weigh yourselves before you are weighed. And prepare for the day when your deeds will be laid bare. Patience is the most healing ingredient in our lives. When your partner is angry, you must remain calm. For when one is fire, the other must be water to quench the anger. If you find a fault in someone and intend to criticize them, then criticize yourself, for your flaws may outnumber theirs. Sit with those who love Allah, for associating with such people will enlighten your mind. Among many friends, I found none better than guarding the tongue. I contemplated all clothing, but found none better than piety. I reflected on all forms of good deeds, but found none better than giving good advice. I sought all kinds of sustenance, but found none better than patience. If you feel empowered to harm Allah's servants, remember that Allah is more powerful in repaying. Get accustomed to a difficult life, for pleasures are not everlasting. If you are tired because of goodness, indeed that fatigue will disappear, and goodness will last. However, if you enjoy sin, indeed that pleasure will disappear, and the sin will last. Do not be sad about what has passed, except if it can make you work harder for what is to come. Sometimes, the one with the darkest past will create the brightest future. Never be impressed by someone's eloquence. A true man is the one who fulfills their trust and refrains from discussing the honor of others. If you find a fault in someone and want to criticize them, then criticize yourself because your faults are more than theirs. As long as you are sincere in your heart, you speak the truth. Recognize the truth, and you will know those who are true. Truth is not measured by its people, but people are measured by the truth. Do not say words that you would not like to hear if others said them to you. Do not be deceived by a man's words. Indeed, a true man is one who always fulfills the trust and refrains from disparaging the honor of others. If you are anxious and uneasy about something, enter into it. For facing it is more disturbing than the thing you fear. Do not procrastinate today's work until tomorrow, lest the work piles up and you achieve nothing. Belief faith is where there should be no difference between actions, words, and what you think. No, brothers and sisters, that a stern attitude has now softened. This sternness is only towards those who act unjustly and oppose the Muslims. But for those who are honest, adhere to the religion, and act justly, I am gentler than all of them. Oh, Allah, I am truly stern and rough, so soften my heart. Oh, Allah, I am very weak, so grant me strength. Oh Allah, I am miserly, make me generous. The crown of a person is his intellect. The status of a person is his religion, while the honor of a person is his good manners. Knowledge has 3 stages. If someone enters the first stage, they become arrogant. If they enter the second stage, they become humble. If they enter the third stage, they feel that they are nothing. The lightest virtue is to show a cheerful face and speak gentle words. I have never regretted my silence even once, but I have regretted my words many times. If a voice from the sky were to be heard saying, "O people, you are all guaranteed entry into paradise, except for one person," truly, I fear that one person is me. Guard your prayers, because when you lose your prayer, you will lose everything. Avoid laziness and boredom, for both are the keys to evil. Indeed, if you are lazy, you will not fulfill many obligations. If you are bored, you will not endure in performing your duties. If we are tired because of goodness, then surely that fatigue will disappear, and the goodness will remain. But if we indulge in pleasure through sin, then surely that pleasure will vanish, and the sin will endure. A person who laughs a lot lacks dignity. Do not think badly of the unpleasant words that come out of your brother's mouth, while you can still find a better meaning. I never worry about whether my prayers will be answered or not. But what I worry about more is not being given the guidance to continue praying. The one who doesn't live according to their beliefs begins to believe in their way of life. Doing good for the good done to you is merely reciprocation, while doing good in response to the evil done to you is extraordinary virtue. Examine yourself before you are held accountable, and measure your actions before they are measured. Don't be an arrogant scholar, because degrees cannot coexist with arrogance. Death is a sufficient teacher, true faith is sufficient wealth, and worship is a sufficient action. Acquire knowledge before you become a leader, and arrogance hinders you from learning, leading you to live in ignorance. Acquire knowledge and learn tranquility and dignity. The wisest person is one who can be accountable for their actions. Do not forget yourself when preaching to others. Do not postpone today's work for tomorrow. Sit with those who love God, because it enlightens the mind. Do not treat love as an attachment, and do not let hatred become destruction. I hope you know what I have in my heart for you, but there is no way for you to know except through my actions. If your partner is angry, then you must remain calm, because when one is fire, the other must be the water that can calm the anger. A woman is not a garment you wear and remove at will. A woman is honorable and has her rights. Get used to a difficult life, because pleasure will not last forever. Light virtue is showing a smiling face and speaking gentle words. Do not exaggerate in love to the point of attachment, nor in hatred to the point of destruction. A person's crown is their intellect, their status is their religion, and their honor is their character. Faith is where there should be no difference between actions, words, and what you think. If there's something you want to leave the pleasures of the world, because keeping your heart away from the love of worldly pleasures will make you a praiseworthy person. Conversely, if you love the world, you will become a lowly person. Knowledge has 3 stages. If someone enters the first stage, they become arrogant. If they enter the second stage, they become humble. If they enter the third stage, they feel that they are nothing. What passes me will never be my destiny, and what is destined for me will never pass me. I fear the day when unbelievers take pride in their falsehood, while believers feel ashamed of their faith. If you find a flaw in someone and want to criticize them, then criticize yourself, because your flaws are more than theirs. Avoid laziness and boredom, because both are the keys to evil. If you are lazy, you will not fulfill many obligations. If you are bored, you will not endure in fulfilling your duties. Remember Allah abundantly, because it is a cure. Do not focus too much on remembering people, because it is a disease. The one with a clear heart will also be rectified by Allah in what is apparent on their face. Do not be sad about what has passed, unless it can make you work harder for what is to come. If we are tired because of goodness, then indeed, that fatigue will disappear, and goodness will endure. However, if we indulge in sin, then indeed, that pleasure will fade away, and sin will endure. Seek knowledge, and to attain knowledge, learn in a state of tranquility and patience. What passes me by will never be my fate, and what is destined for me will never pass me by. I fear the day when the unbelievers take pride in their falsehood, while the believers are ashamed of their faith. Sometimes, those with the darkest past create the brightest future. A person's crown is their intellect, their status is their religion, and their honor is their character. Avoiding sin is lighter than bearing the pain of regret. Seek help from Allah to help you against your evil desires, just as you seek help in fighting your enemies. If you find a fault in someone, and you want to criticize them, then criticize yourself, for your faults are greater than theirs. Avoid laziness and boredom, as both are keys to evil. Indeed, if you are lazy, you will not fulfill many obligations. If you are bored, you will not endure in fulfilling your duties. Increase remembrance of Allah, for it is a remedy. Do not excessively remember people, for it is a disease. No feeling of guilt can change the past, and no worry can alter the future. Do not love excessively to the point of attachment, and do not hate excessively to the point of destruction. What passes me by will never be my fate, and what is destined for me will never pass me by. When someone's intention is sincere, God will suffice their needs, protect them, and guide them in dealing with people.